Okay, hi everybody. Sorry about that. Reset the internet, and we're just gonna roll as best we can here this morning. So, talking about movement, talking about mobility. My name's Erin Carson. I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist here in Boulder, Colorado. I'm super happy to have you here today with movement mobility. The whole goal is that coming off of a great weekend of training, swim, bike, run, hike, ski, anything like that, that we're gonna kind of reset the body. So want to start really quick. We're gonna roll using the foam roller pretty quick. I've got a pretty intense foam roller, so it's a little bit of a harder surface. And we're just gonna take that and get down at the bottom underneath the muscle of the calf. We're just working through mostly tendon. There's a little bit of soleus underneath of there if we push into it, because that's low and inferior to that calf muscle. And we're just rolling through the lower part, just below the gastroc. The big calf muscle is called the gastrocnemius, and we're just below that, okay? Going back to the right side, so really dig in here. We're gonna go right side, right below the big belly of the calf muscle, and we're gonna flex and extend through the toe. 5, 4, we're getting 10 reps here. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Same thing other side. So we're going to take that left leg just below the belly of the calf muscle. And right here, flex and extend. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's called flossing. All right, let's work up into the hips. I didn't run a lot this weekend, so I don't expect that my hips are that spicy, because I know myself and I know that running lights up my hips a little bit. If I'm doing it right, it should light up the hips. That's how they get stronger. If they're moving with every single one of your landings, your hips are gonna need a little bit of care to make sure that they don't get tight. So hips, I'm okay going side to side. If you're a little bit spicy on that, all I want you to do is just keep moving throughout the day after this little bit of foam rolling and tension. So we're just moving through the hips. Mine are fine. Hopefully yours are too. If they're not, because you ran a lot this weekend, maybe you did a marathon, there were a few out there, you definitely want to not foam roll too much, because tension and pain, sometimes you need just a little bit more time before you start smacking the muscle. So think about that. Foam rolling, you can over foam roll. Okay, hands behind your head to support your neck, working through the upper back. Just nice and easy through that upper back. We're also going to toggle through the upper back, and that means we're just going to go side to side. Just back and forth. Okay, good. So that's our reactive. I call that the reactive kind of foam rolling. And reactive foam rolling is just about cleaning up some of those lines that may have gotten a little dirty from training, or just some good fun. All right, 90-90. Let's go into a half kneeling 90-90 position. 90 degrees on the front knee, 90 degrees on the back knee. I like to have that back toe tucked under, hands on your hips, nice big breath, chin back, chest up, and all we're gonna do is just that little bit of knee drive to the front. You should feel a little bit of tension in that back hip. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, same thing other side. We'll go 90-90. All right, 90 degrees on the right knee, 90 degrees on the back knee, tuck the toe under. Chin back, chest up, hold that nice posture. 1. I'm gonna give you some decompression stuff today. 3, 4, 5, 6, keep that chest up. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Let's go into a lateral half kneeling position. So that means that the right leg is going to go out to the side. We want that foot to be flat If I see somebody get into a lateral half kneeling position and their foot goes like this, I immediately know that they have a little bit of tightness in their ankle. They can usually, once I cue them, get their pinky toe down to the ground. Don't underestimate how important that is. All right, so let's get in that lateral half kneeling position. Get all 5 toes on the ground on the right leg, the one that's out long. Take that nice big breath. We're gonna scoop from the bottom. We wanna stay away from the trap, the upper trap. We're gonna scoop from the bottom, push the hips back. We're going 10 times. 2, push the hips back. 3, 4, 5, push your hips back. They should be moving. When you're in this position right here, your butt should be right over your back foot. 8, 9, one more, and 10. Same thing, other side. Toe goes all the way to the ground. The whole foot is on the ground. Hips are nice and strong. Space between your ribs and your hips. Nice big head position. Make sure your head is not in that forward position. Chin back. Scoot that back. Hands go to the front as a counterbalance, but also recognize that when your hands go to the front, we start to see how the lats, all these big muscles under the arms, can tug and create tension in the inner thigh. That is a big deal. 6. So tight lats can inhibit your lower body with tightness, right? 8, 2 more, 9, 1 more, and 10. All right, let's bring that up to a standing position. We're gonna go feet about shoulder width apart. Turn your toes in just a little bit. So we call that squaring up the outsides of the feet. So this position with your hips, the in position, is strong. This position, the out position, this is a weak position in endurance sports. So we're gonna just go ahead and get your feet squared up, which shows us your hips are in a little bit of internal rotation. Let your knees translate in just a little bit. Drop your hips to the back, pinkies on your hip bones, thumbs on your bottom rib. From right here, let's go long through your spine, long through the top of your spine, cervical area, all through your neck. Pull your ears away from your shoulder and keep that chin back. Knees are in just a little bit. From right here, I want to expand the rib cage with a big inhale. And as you exhale, I want you to knit the musculature in your stomach to ensure that you don't fall into it. That's why these measuring sticks are here, okay? Pinkies on the hip bones, thumbs on the bottom rib, head's in a perfect position, knees are in. Ready? Here we go. 5 big inhales. Exhales 2. Start to dance with your rib cage a little bit. See if you can expand it laterally. See if you can open up your upper back. Spread your shoulder blades out. 2 more big breaths. And shake that out. If I was with you right now, I would put my hands on your rib cage, and what I want to see is this. That it moves laterally, and then when you exhale, it can contract. Out and in. So as you go into this position, if your elbows are way to the back, I know that you're a little sticky through your upper back, and we're losing a little bit of opportunity for mobility through your rib cage. Okay, so think about it. Every breath you take takes energy. Okay, let's go into a half kneeling position. Take that lead knee, take it out to 45 degrees, and we're just going to go ahead and get a little bit of adductor stretch in and out of that. So the hips stay pretty square, upper body stays square to me. Knees about 45 degrees out. Don't go to 90, okay? Nice big chest, and we're just going to go right there. You should feel a little bit of inner thigh stretch. 2, we're going to go 10 of these. 3, just feeding that tissue motion. 4, 5, 6, 7, knee stays out. 8. If your knee wants to dive in, just kind of put your hand there. And 10, and try to guide it so that it doesn't dive in, okay? Take a nice big breath. 45 degrees over here, so it'll be about 2:30 on the clock if that's midnight. Take a nice big breath. This side's a little tighter. Stay square with your shoulders. Make sure you're not turned over that lead knee. 1, 2, it's okay if it's tighter. 3, nothing's wrong. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, good. Hopefully you're not too far from your foam roller. Grab that foam roller. We're going to use it as a little bit of a prop to guide us. So knee is at 10:30, shoulders are square, foam roller at chest height. We're just going to gently rotate away. 1. Now we start to see more about how the thoracic spine, the lats, can impact the lower body. 5. This should add a little bit more of a tug to the inner thigh. 8, 9, one more, and 10. If it's your first time here, I can count, but every now and then if I'm teaching, I'll miss 1 or 2. So just so you know, trainers around the world, we all need support with counting. Okay, we're at about 2:30 with the knee. Nice big breath, head's in a great position. We're just gonna let that knee dive over the toe and rotate away. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, good, 9, last one, and 10. My tendency, and like, remember, I'm human, I'm not gonna do everything perfectly, so I'm teaching a certain thing in a certain way, and I want us to keep doing and chasing perfect, but every now and then, my weakness is to drop my head. So chin back, chest up, eyes up is always gonna be a really good cue. Okay, let's go into a nice wide stance now. Keep the outsides of the feet nicely squared off. Push the hips back, so now the weight is on your heels. And all we're gonna do is glide to the right. Keep that knee right under your shoulder. And then come back. Glide to the left. Keep that knee nice and tight. And you should start to see how we'll go to the right, and let's reach forward with the left arm and come back. Glide left, reach right, and start to rotate through that upper back. 3, 4. Knee is in. We're rotating across that lead leg. The lead leg is the one we're loading. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Okay, let's go into a split stance. I'm going to go ahead and change my mat here. So we're going to square up the outsides of the feet. It feels weird on the back leg if you're doing it right. If you're doing it right, it feels like this hip is coming in this way. Remember, this is strong, this is weak. So gravity's pulling us into weakness. We're mobilizing into our strength. So square up the outsides of the feet, float the back heel, but maintain 50-50 weight distribution. Half the weight's on the front, half's the weight on the back. Take a nice big breath. Hands on the hips. So we're creating a box between the ribs and the hips. And all we're gonna do is take that back hip, aim it towards mid-thigh on the lead leg, and then bring it back, okay? So when we do that, this hip drops. This hip drops. You can't really feel it, but if you know, you know. Ready? We're just dropping across. We've got a little bit of tension on that lead leg going in. 3, and you might have to fight for that a little bit because as you go here, it might want to pull you into supination. So keep pushing towards the middle. Let's go 4 more. 1, drop in. 2, you might be starting to notice if your right leg's in front of your left, that your right hip, your right lateral hip is starting to get a little bit of tension. And that's okay. I actually can feel that on my right side all the way down my IT band. So I'm gonna go left leg in front of right. Square up the outsides of your feet. Make sure your back foot is nice and squared up. Take a big breath, head's in the right position. 50-50 weight distribution. And we're just gonna take that right hip, aim it towards mid-thigh on the left leg, and come right back. If all these little details are driving you crazy, I'm sorry, but that's the deal. You need to pay attention to details. Because most of you that are on this Come to Mobility Monday, you care. You care about how you're moving. You care about how you feel when you run. You care about how strong you feel on the bike. And throughout the day, you should care how your posture looks to other people and how you present yourself in the world as a really strong leader. Or maybe you're just there to support other people, but the stronger you stand, believe me, the better everything is. 2 more. 1 and 2. So finding balance in the body becomes really, really important. Let's go ahead and just let the toes go out for a second. We're gonna work into some body weight squats. So just drop down. You should always be able to do a squat pattern with ease. And I know that at the end of a run, even just taking my shoes off, sometimes I'll sit down rather than just bend over to take my shoes off. It's because you get incredibly tight through the pelvis with performance and training. We're gonna go 3 more of these. 1, 2, good, and 3. So when we squat, our pelvis is in a static position. And we're just asking for the spine to drop into the sacrum so that we can do a squat. But when we walk and when we run, we're asking our hips to do what we call decouple. So we're gonna keep working that decoupling, and then we'll keep going back to a squat pattern to make sure we're doing good work. So when we go into a split stance, the back hip is now dropped. We're gonna add a hand driver. So now I want you to go 70% loaded on your front leg. So a little bit of your nose should be about 6 inches in front of your toe. And we're just gonna do that rotation, but now we're gonna add the weight of the arm. And as you do that, you're gonna start feeling that lead hip light up. 2, don't reach too far across. It's across and forward. 3, loading that posterior chain. 4, 5, as we rotate the upper body around a stable lower body. 8, 9, because that's what running is, and 10, and change to the other side. So a nice split stance, strong through your upper body box. We're gonna rotate across that lead leg, add the hand driver. Nice big breath, load up your lead leg to about 70%, and from right here, we're gonna just rotate across and go ahead and add the weight of the arm, and that left hip is gonna start lighting up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 more, and 10. All right, good. So now the hip rotators are starting to work a little bit more. Let's go ahead and go into some lateral stepping. So we'll add more dynamic mobility here. Woo, nice little wind. We're gonna land, and now I really want you to dive in on your landing. Yes, you are gonna load your knee to the inside. This is part of running, that you should be stable when you land. We don't want your knee diving in when you run, but you need to strengthen the relationship between glute med and VMO. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and land, rotate, and come back. So be kind of aggressive on this if you feel like you're ready to handle that. 1, we got 10 of them. 2, 3, stick that butt to the back. 4, 5, head up, Aaron. 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 more, and 10. So when you add speed, you add intensity. When you add intensity, you're starting to get a little bit of strength. You're starting to get a little bit more muscle activation on those landings. Okay, ready? Let's hit the other side. It's gonna be Left side, rotate across, come back into it. We'll get a little bit of rhythm and timing. We're gonna go 10 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, knee in, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, good. Take it down to the ground. We'll slow it down just for a second. Make sure that we're going in the right direction. Think about how the tissue is starting to warm up. So we're gonna go bend your right knee just a little bit around 90 degrees. Take your left leg across. You're gonna feel that little bit of stretch through the hip there. So left leg is up, take your right elbow across, palm up. Just breathe into that. Reach up and away. One more. And good. Okay, so now take the left leg, bend it, take the right leg, wrap it up. This is one of those positions that I wish I could get my mother into. I was a little stressed last week. So this is right knee up, left arm across. I went up to Vancouver, just outside of Vancouver, to Abbotsford, British Columbia, where I was born and raised. My mom lives there. And there was some terrible flooding, thankfully, what did not affect my mother. But yeah, I was just stressed. And the level of stress really is impacting my body and my heart rate variability and just a lot of things. So I'm really excited to have Mobility Monday as part of my world. We're gonna go back to the first side. So right leg, tuck it under, because it adds that anchoring for me. Like, we get this fresh start every single Monday. Okay, reach across, nice big chest. And it's a healthy thing for me to be able to just anchor into something strong and that helps me, that's good for me, and that sets me up for a better Tuesday. Good. Last one on the other side. Left leg across, right leg across. Hopefully you're finding some anchoring with Mobility Monday as well. Right arm back, left leg, take it across. Good. Nice big chest. Rotate across. And good. All right, so let's just make sure everything's coming together here. We're gonna go back into a little bit more of the hip rotator, working a little bit more decompression. So we're gonna go into that woodpecker stance. This is a woodpecker stance, it's a split stance, it's a lunge stance, it's a lot of different stances, but for the most part, we'll call it a split stance. From this split stance, we're gonna go ahead and look over the cliff. So we're loading that lead leg to about 70% of our body weight. The nose should be about 6 inches in front of the lead toe. 2 points of contact on the back foot, the big toe and the ball of the little toe. Take both hands to the front. And I'm going to turn sideways because I want you to see the softness in the elbows. Drop the elbows. And from right there, push your fingertips together, and you're going to feel tension rise through the body. Elbows are low. I can feel this in my hamstring. I can feel this in my right glute. Push. Pull that chin back, chest up. One more big breath. And come back. So a lot of times I'll get after my athletes because they have weak hands. You know, they'll be doing some kind of lower body exercise and their hands will be a little bit floppy. And I'll be like, add tension into your hands, and you can see through your hands, you can add tension and light up and upregulate your nervous system. Let's go left leg in front of the right. From right there, soft on the back leg, a little bit stronger on the front leg. 70% of my weight is on my front leg. Chin back, chest up. Bring both hands to the front. You can see there's a little bit of forward lean. Hold that nice and strong. That position, push into your lead front big toe. Your lead leg, big toe. Press those fingertips together. Breathe into it. See if you can find more tension in your lower body. and relax. So if this is Mobility Monday, and that seems to be a pretty static position, but we're breathing into it and we're talking about expanding the rib cage. So even though the rest of the body is static and strong and upregulated and on and stable, the rib cage still needs to feel like it can move. So let's go one more time. We're going to focus on 5 breath cycles. So right leg in front of left, 2 points of contact on your back foot. Big breath, little bit of a forward lean. Bring those hands together, keep your elbows low. From right here, press into the big toe of your lead leg. Press your fingertips together. Now mobilize your rib cage. Ready? 5 big breaths. Keep tension through your fingertips. See if you can reach your hands a little bit further, but keep them high. And good. Come on back out of that. Shake that out. We'll hit the last side. Right leg back. Square off the feet. Nice and strong with the lead foot. Chin back, chest up. Little bit of forward lean. Load up that lead leg. Scoop the hands. Keep the elbows low, but the hands are about as high as the chin. Push the fingertips together nice and strong. Even the thumb. Move that rib cage. Widen your back, guys. And one more. And shake that out. Okay, so today, here, early December, we're working on a little bit of, Deacon says hi, a little bit of mobility through the rib cage. As time and stress might overtake some of your moments today, I want you to think about being able to just put your hands gently into measuring sticks and take a big breath. There does a couple of different things. It can downregulate that sympathetic drive, that fight or flight. So as stress starts to take over a little bit through the holidays, different circumstances within your life, this can be a tool to help you relax, help you get into that more restful state. So this breathing we can use in racing, when training and wellness, but we can also use it to our benefit when we need it in stressful times. So I hope you enjoyed the session today. I will see you next Monday. I will be here every Monday for you, and I appreciate you showing up and also sharing this with your friends, your teammates, your parents, your kids. But just hit subscribe and maybe a comment or two to just give me some feedback that you're loving the sessions. Mahalo and aloha, and we'll talk soon. I'm in Boulder, not Hawaii, but I hope you're doing well. Peace.